Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Maze of Millennia, basically the full set revealed today. All of the content creators that are much bigger than me got their boxes. They opened it up, so they got to see pretty much everything in the set, which is pretty exciting. A couple small things I want to hit on before getting into the full Flame Swordsman stuff, because that's the big news here. We kind of knew that was like the bigger news as far as new cards go. Looks like there's 10 total cards, which is insane. Did not think there were going to be that many. But we'll get to those in a sec. As far as just like some cool reprints just to know about, Triple Tactics Thrust is in here at the highest rarity, of course. So I don't know how much it'll actually bring down the price, but hopefully it'll give us a somewhat more affordable copy for more budget players. Hydrant, Rescue Ace, and Hydrant being the centerpiece of that deck has actually been pretty expensive for a while. So that's really cool that they're actually giving this a reprint here instead of waiting like later. And the last one is Bunbuku, not shown here, but Bunbuku is like one of the most key cards from the Magispector archetype. They just didn't update the page yet. I believe it's the card that shot up the most when we found out about the Magispector support for Phantom Nightmare. So cool reprint there. They did not reprint the field spell for Magispector, which is kind of feels like a giant whiff and a spit in the eye, because that card, I literally couldn't find copies of that card online unless it was like not near mint and like under $10 for like an old super. Terrible, terrible. All right, but for the meat and potatoes of this video, let's get into this stuff. We already read this guy. He searches any Flame Swordsman card that lists in its text, or spell and trap that lists in its text, and then if he's sent to grave, he can foolish any Flame Swordsman or monster that mentions it. So really good card on the surface, but we'll see if it actually comes to fruition. All right, first up here for the new card, Salamandra, the Flying Flame Dragon, a new main deck Salamandra card. Really cool. Level 2 Fire Dragon, 700 attack, 1600 defense. While this card is equipped to Flame Swordsman or a monster that mentions it, they gain 700 attack. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target a warrior monster you control, equip this card, this monster, to it as an equipped spell, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Salamandra spell or trap from your deck to hand. Whoa, just sent to the graveyard, add a spell or trap. So this guy literally adds a spell or trap, and then if you get him sent, he can send this and then add another spell or trap. Okay, not a bad card. Honestly, I was really underwhelmed with this until like literally the last sentence, which obviously brought it all to fruition, like that it's just a searcher if it's generically sent to graveyard. By the way, it's a level 2, so that means Sprite Sprind can potentially just be made and send this and then search you one of the in-archetype spells or traps, just like already like an extra little bonus there. This card could be huge, actually. That's nice. All right, next up here we have Mirage Swordsman. Of course, you have to have a retrain of Mirage Swordsman. The classic fusion monster is a level 8 Fire Warrior, of course. 28, 2000 for the stats, pretty beefy. If a face-up Fire Fusion you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your graveyard if it was there when it happened, or hand even if not. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy both battling monsters. And if this card is destroyed by battle or another card's effect, special summon one level 7 or lower monster that is Flame Swordsman or mentions it from your deck or extra deck. Ooh, okay. I mean, I don't know what else is here. I mean, that seems to be the best effect here. This effect seems so unreliable. Like, are we really destroying our own Fire Fusion monsters? I doubt it. I just hate that this is destroy, right? Because like, you have an effect that can foolish. I wish this had just said, like, if a Fire Fusion was sent to graveyard, it could trigger. But I think the bigger effect of this card anyway is this. This maybe even opens the door for like Fire Kings to see play here, because the field spell can destroy any fire monster on field or in hand. So you can destroy this in hand to search a Fire King monster and then trigger this to then summon like literally the Stratos. So like without normal summon, you've searched like a Fire King monster and you've summoned this from deck to get an extra plus. That seems pretty crazy. But again, it's a completely reliant card on like what else is in your hand. It does absolutely nothing at all by itself, which I don't like. So we'll have to see. Maybe it's there for like certain situations, but this is the least impressive to me overall. All right, Ultimate Flame Swordsman. This has to be our boss monster here, I'd imagine. Level 8 Fire Warrior Fusion, 28-16 for the stats, pretty decent. He requires specifically Flame Swordsman plus Fighting Flame Dragon. So not original Flame Dragon, it's the new one, Fighting Flame Dragon. I believe this does... Oh, these are both extra deck monsters. Are we able to cheat these out? I mean, I know this Archetype can already cheat them out, but aren't there generic cards that can like cheat them out? I mean, obviously Instant Fusion and Ready Fusion for Flame Swordsman at the very least can help get them out. Okay, but we can also Foolish them off of the new Stratos monster to just get them in rotation if we can use from grave. We'll see. All right, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, inflict 500 to your opponent. This is a quick effect if it's equipped with an equip card. Okay, there we go. I was trying to say for a while that like not only this card, because this card can just kind of equip itself, but also Fighting Flame Dragon, the card listed as its material. So you would be getting this engraved by default just to make this guy. This card can just equip to a warrior you control, I believe, or a fire warrior, whatever. It should be able to equip to this, which then makes this a walking Dryden now. Not only a Dryden, but a Dryden that burns. Which is really solid, and it becomes a quick effect. So there we go. Like when this card came out, it looked really underwhelming, but I was like, but it may make some of the other cards better, and that's what we're seeing here. Okay, at the start of the damage step, if this card battles, you can double this card's attack until the end of this turn, but if you do, destroy it during the end phase. Okay, so that's how you destroy your own fusion to like maybe trigger Mirage, but even then, that's on like end phase. Like, you're literally destroying this on end phase, and then summoning this on end phase, and then it's just sitting there. Then this card's just here. So I don't know. Still don't love this card. But, okay, that's actually pretty scary, too, because I believe this card, when it's equipped to a Flame Swordsman or a monster dimension, gains 700. Then if this one's equipped, I believe this also gives 700. So this could be buffed up to 42 with the ability to double its attack to 84. And it pops something, so you could even clear the board and just attack for game. It's a threat to OTK, and it also is just like a decent end board piece to set up. Hopefully the deck actually sets it up easy enough. We're going to have to see with the spells and traps. You've already seen Fighting Flame Dragon basically in grave. You can like equip to a Fire Warrior and give it 700 attack, I think. Oh, actually, it also gives it a second attack. Ooh, so this thing could potentially just be like 8,400 with 2 attacks. That's insane. All right. Final cards here with the spells and traps. We have Flame Sword's Realm, a continuous spell. Your opponent can activate cards or effects when you normal summon a Fire Warrior. Okay, so I guess that just means they can't really respond to your Stratos guy if you're going to normal him. That's fine, I guess, but not like out of this world. Once per turn, you can send a monster from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard as cost to special summon one Flame Swordsman from your extra deck. So specifically just Flame Swordsman. This is treated as a fusion summon, so it can be reborn potentially. Once per turn, when a monster declares an attack, any monster, you can target a warrior you control until the end of this turn. It loses 1,000 attack, but all other monsters you currently control gain 1,000. Okay, so it's just like a cheeky, like, you know, way to gain some attack points. Cool, deal more damage. I mean, it is an extender and it's searchable. It is a searchable card that just says like, send a monster to just summon Flame Swordsman, which could be the difference between just like getting regular Flame Swordsman in rotation, so that way we can summon Ultimate Flame Swordsman. But this card is not overly impressive to me. Not great. Okay, equip spell. Salamandra Fusion. Love the art on this. Looks really cool. Equip only to a Fire Warrior. Gain 700. So again, another way to gain 700. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy this card instead. And while this card is equipped to a fusion you control, specifically a fusion, so you'd have to like summon regular Flame Swordsman, you can send this card and the equipped monster to the graveyard if you do special summon a Flame Swordsman or one fusion monster that mentions it from your extra deck. Okay, so this gives you a way to cheat it, right? If you can just put regular Flame Swordsman out on the field, or even just the Flame Dragon, you can send this card, you can just equip this to it and just cheat out the new fusion. And if you did Flame Dragon, then Flame Dragon will be able to immediately jump back on and equip, and now it's a Dryden. Interesting. Okay, so not bad. Still not the most amazing card in the world, but like I could see this being decent. Last spell we have here is Fighting Flame Sword, a new quick play spell. You can activate one of these effects, and it looks like it has 3. Add any card from your deck to the hand that mentions Flame Swordsman. That's great. That's great consistency. And in a quick play spell means we're like always dodging Droll with this. Just activate in draw phase. When an attack is declared involving a fire warrior monster you control, you can target a card on the field and destroy it. Wow. So even if you're attacking with your own fire warrior, you can just pop a card. That could help, again, secure OTKs. And lastly, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets Flame Swordsman or a monster that mentions it, negate that effect. That's, again, just like actually a nice bonus. It's a hard one to return. But honestly, this card's really nice. I mean, you're probably using this 9 times out of 10, but like, these are no joke. I mean, these are not, like, if a card only is a negate for targeting effects, it's terrible. And if a card only pops something when you're attacking, and it's terrible. But when it's like, oh, I don't need to search anything, I'm just trying to OTK, cool, I'll pop something. Or I'm trying to resolve my play into a board, but they're targeting me with an imperm, cool, now I just beat that for free. That's when it actually comes up, and it's actually pretty huge. So, honestly, really, really good card. All right, then we finish, I think, with 2 traps. The first one here is Salamandra with Chain. I love the artwork. I love the Chain cards. Kunai with Chain. The Red Eyes one with Chain is cool. All right, normal trap. You can target 1 fire monster on the field. Equip this card to it as an equipped spell. It gains 500. Then you can change 1 effect monster on the field to face down defense position. This is a generic Book of Moon. Huh. So it targets the fire and equips to it. But then the monster you book is non-targeting. So you're going to give something a 500 boost, and then you have a non-targeting Book of Moon. That's kind of spicy. You can banish this card from your graveyard to fusion summon a Fire Warrior or Dragon Fusion from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from your hand, field, or grave into the deck, but destroy it during the end phase. Ooh, okay. So again, like, another way to fusion summon here. I don't know how often. I mean, is this guy Foolish any card? Send 1 monster. Okay, so he only Foolishes monsters, so he can't Foolish this card, which is a little bit weird because it's like equips to something, so like it doesn't get itself to grave super quickly. But I don't know. That's still pretty good. I mean, at least in the grind to just continually keep pumping out copies of the big boss monster there. That's cool. And the last card here is Flame Swords Dance. This is another normal trap. If a monster is special summon any monster. Special summon 1 level 7 or lower fusion from your extra deck that is Flame Swordsman or mentions it. Then you can change the face-up monster on the field to face down. So again, another non-targeting Book of Moon that also just cheats out one of your extra deck monsters. Okay. During your opponent's battle phase specifically, you can banish this card from grave and tribute any face-down monster to special summon a Flame Swordsman or a monster that mentions it from deck or extra deck. Interesting. So it's during your opponent's battle phase only, so it does kind of deter them from even trying to go battle phase. They may just have to skip it just to be like, man, I don't even want to give them a way to activate that. But that is interesting. It does have to tribute a face down, so you can tribute theirs if they have it at that point, which I guess is the goal. And then they could wait till next turn where they're able to flip up, and then this card isn't doing it anymore. But still a decent card just for the fact that you're able to just like plop out any level 7 or lower, which I believe this guy's got to be 8. Yeah, so you can't just cheat out this guy, unfortunately, but still cheating out any of the others just to get them in rotation is nice. Honestly, really interesting cards. I sold his band, so like ice-solding for some of this stuff does not really work. But there's definitely some intrigue here. Now, I'm still worried that overall payoff just isn't enough for this archetype. Like, the payoff is literally like just this. Basically. And I guess you can set up him and maybe one of the traps. But that's like a Book of Moon and a pop, and that's it. So going first, I have definitely big questions on like whether or not like what you're able to get off of this stuff is actually worth it. But I do think going second, the benefits going second are actually pretty wild. Like if you can just stick this guy, I mean, you're probably killing your opponent, which is significant. So it's hard to say. I think it's honestly better than I thought it would be out the gate. There's also like no restrictions here whatsoever. So you can technically play these cards with like anything that you think like works with it. I think Immortal Phoenix Gearfried's pretty interesting just because you have all these cards that just equip to him for free. Maybe that'd be the only reason to like still play Infernobles in the deck, is to be able to get the Equips Engrave. But other than that, you know, definitely mess around with it. Again, I still question if it's enough, but it's honestly better than I thought, considering Gate Guardian was the archetype we got like in this slot last year. I think this archetype has a better setup than that one does overall. But let me know your thoughts down below. Is there anything else spicy here that you think is worth mentioning? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. But other than that, I'm just out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace.